hooked on Superhero Deep Dive. Hello, welcome to a new episode of Superhero Deep Dive. As always, I'm your host, Jason. I have a great episode scheduled for you today. Let me get my disclaimers out of the way and we will get into it. Now, the information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero. Also, if you ever want to reach out to me, you can catch me every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the day on Outworld Fleet Radio. Their website is www.un-conventional.com/radio. You can catch me on Twitter or Instagram under Super Deep Dive, and I try to use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive if I remember. You can catch me on YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive. That's probably the best avenue to reach me at because I comment back with people, or I have conversations with people when they talk about superheroes. Everything gets acknowledged. Help me grow the channel. Comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. You know, hit the notification bell, whatever floats your boat. And if you ever want to email me directly, which I do get those frequently, you can, by all means. My email address is b4itall, so b4itall at yahoo.com. Okay, let me get a sip of coffee. Excuse me. I tried to do that loudly, just so you could tell I was actually sipping on coffee. Okay, today I am going to be talking about Starboy, or Thom Kallor. Who is this dude? He's in DC Universe, and he's got like the most awesome of costumes. It's like a galaxy with white boots and white gloves. I mean, basically is what it is. His real name, of course, is Thom Kallor. Now, Starboy is a member of the Legion of Superheroes, which is a group of young heroes living a millennium in the future. He was born to astronomer parents on an observation satellite orbiting the planet Xanthu. Excuse me. And is able to temporarily increase the mass of an object up to the mass of a star. Although he temporarily acquires Kryptonian-level powers, similar to those of Superboy when he was caught in the tail of a comet, these eventually fade, leaving only his original density-increasing power. Early in his Legion career, he travels to the 20th century to meet Superboy, and while he is there, Lana Lang threatens to expose his identity, which is a secret on Xanthu, if he refuses to pretend to be her boyfriend to make Superboy jealous. However, the Boy of Steel overhears her, and her plan fails. Wow. We're gonna let that sink in for just a second while I get another sip of coffee, because that was a lot. Okay, now Starboy is expelled from the Legion for killing his girlfriend Dreamgirl's ex-boyfriend Ken's Nuhor in self-defense, which is a violation of the Legion's rules against killing. After this, he and Dreamgirl join the Legion of Substitute Heroes before ultimately returning to the main Legion. Although Starboy originally wears a purple uniform with a white cape and a 5-pointed yellow star on his chest, his best-known costume is a full-body Starfield suit with white gloves and boots. After the events of Zero Hour and the death of Kid Quantum, Xanthu's original representative to the Legion, Starboy, joins the Legion. He does not get along with Leviathan, partly because Leviathan blames himself for Kid Quantum's death, and he sees his replacement as a reminder of his failure as a leader. You know, that's like a second-level psychology kind of stuff right there. That's pretty messed up. But in addition to his mass-increasing powers, Starboy temporarily acquires several Kryptonian-like powers and the ability to breathe fire after spaceship accidents. He finds these abilities difficult to control, though. When Xanthu leaves the United Planets, which is kind of like the governing body of the Legion of Superheroes. Like, let's take the Legion of Superheroes as being the Starship Enterprise for my Star Trek fans. And the United Planets is the United Federation of planets. Basically, right? Okay, I hope so. If not, let me know in the comments if there are better ways to describe this. But that one was kind of like on the nose. Alright, so when Xanthu leaves the United Planet, Starboy and fellow Xanthian Legionnaires Kid Quantum and Monstrous spread the word that the government of their home planet has been deceived and are astonished at the decision to remain with the affiliated planets. In a Starman storyline, the post-Zero... excuse me. That was really weird. Okay, in a Starman storyline, the post-Zero Hour Thom Kallor discovers that he is destined to travel back to the 21st century, assume the mantle of Starman as Danny Blaine, and lose his life. The Danny Blaine version of Thom Kallor was inspired by the Kingdom Come character designed by Alex Ross, which that was kind of like the Star suit or Starfield suit design. Brilliant design by Alex Ross. The dude just looks awesome. I mean, it's just such a cool look. The Starman in the Justice Society of America Volume 3 is a Thom Kallor similar to his pre-Crisis incarnation, rather than the Starboy who had recently appeared in Legion of Superheroes Volume 5, raising the question of coexistent timelines. He traveled from his future to the Kingdom Come universe, which was recreated as Earth 22 at the end of 52, and then to the present. Kallor claims to hear voices in his head and has been diagnosed as borderline schizophrenic. So yeah, when he is not a superhero, he is voluntarily patient, or he's a voluntary patient at the Sunshine Sanitarium. His schizophrenia began soon after he acquired his abilities and is managed with 31st century technology. However, present-day medicine, which Dreamgirl views as barbaric, fails to check his illness. In the sanitarium, he assumes the identity of Danny Blaine, his favorite pulp hero on Xanthu. The godlike Gog soon restores Tom's sanity, which Tom believes is not good. Starman leaves the sanitarium and works as a gravedigger, which he believes will help him carry out his mission to the present. During a battle with the Justice Society Infinity of Earth 2, it is learned that his Starfield suit was designed by 3 Brainiac 5s and is a map of the recreated multiverse. That's kind of cool, I guess. I guess. I wouldn't have gone that route, but whatever. I guess to cosplay him, you just need a black bodysuit and some glitter, right? Just throw it on there and be like, yeah, I'm done. But anyways, in the Final Crisis Legion of Three Worlds miniseries, it's learned that Starman received his mysterious mission from Brainiac 5 during a 31st century conflict between the Legion and the united forces of Superboy Prime and the Legion of Supervillains. Starman's mission was to exhume Superboy's body and place it in the regeneration chamber in the Fortress of Solitude, used to restore Superman after his death. The healing process takes a millennium, and in the 31st century, at the peak of the battle, Superboy is reborn to join the fight. Starman does not return to the 31st century at the end of the series. He remains in the 21st century to carry out a dead man's last wish, and an interlocked document reading Last Will and Testament of R.J. Brand is visible. In Adventure Comics Volume 2, Number 8, Starman is part of a secret Legion team sent by the late R.J. Brand to the 21st century to save the future in the Last Hope of New Krypton storyline. Now, Kallor reappears on the Legion poster after the Flashpoint reality-altering event, although he is inexplicably paraplegic. He later leaves the team to rescue Dreamgirl from the Dominators after she and Brainiac 5 are kidnapped, and although Starboy dies when the Legion headquarters collapses during the Fatal Five's onslaught, he is resurrected before the Infinity Saga in Justice League United. Because Marvel had the Infinity Saga, so they need the Infinitus, to be more inclusive. Because Infinity could be you or me, but Infinitus is all of us. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting there. I have no idea. I'm just assuming they wanted to call it something similar, and this was a way to get around copyright violations. But anyways, lastly, in the Watchmen sequel Doomsday Clock, Starboy is among the Legionnaire members, or the Legion members who appear in the present after Dr. Manhattan undid the experiment that erased the Legion of Superheroes and the Justice Society of America. So he is back, but that's really all that's done. Hold on. I'm getting a sip of coffee. What is your favorite kind of coffee, by the way? I love hazelnut with the like Italian sweet creamer. That's my absolute favorite. I am basic. I get in trouble whenever my wife and I go to Starbucks because they're like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Can I just have some hazelnut coffee and creamer?" But yeah. But what do you guys think of Thom Kallor? Starboy. He's pretty interesting, right? There's not a lot about him, but he's like without a doubt one of the coolest looking characters. And his power set's pretty cool. We're gonna get into that, but like I said, let me know in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. If you have requests, if you have critiques, if you have fun facts you'd like to add, anything you'd like to do, I'm there for it. I am all about it. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. If you have requests for future episodes, do that. But let's have a discussion. You can also reach me on Twitter, Instagram under Super Deep Dive. You can email me directly at B4itall, so B4itall at yahoo.com. But let's get into his powers. Let's go into the second part of this. All right. Now, in the first two incarnations of the Legion, Thom can temporarily increase the mass and density of any object or person. The version of Thom working with the Justice Society of America can travel between alternate universes using a combination of his mass-controlling powers and his uniform, which is a map of the multiverse created by the three Brainiac Fives. As a member of the Legion of Superheroes, Thom also has a Legion flight ring that allows him to fly, and in the 3-boot incarnation of the series, protecting him from space and other dangerous environments. So it gives him some kind of like little temporary force field. Some fun facts about him. Thom Kallor as Starboy appears in the Legion of Superheroes cartoon. He also appears in Justice League vs. the Fatal Five. This version suffers from a form of schizophrenia that takes medication despite it no longer working. After accidentally traveling back in time to the 21st century while trying to stop the Fatal Five, he loses his medication and most of his memories, becoming more erratic and being incarcerated in Arkham Asylum. However, he escapes after seeing the Fatal Five on the news, which triggers some of his memories. He later encounters the Justice League and Jessica Cruz, who he forms a strong relationship with, due in part to her own mental illness, before sacrificing himself to save Earth's son from the Emerald Empress. Thom Kallor is also the reincarnation of Brian Savage, who is Scout Punter, a Native American DC character, and Matthew O'Dare, who's a police officer associated with the Jack Knight Starman character. Now, when I did this, I had to kind of distinguish which Star person I was talking to. There's Stargirl, who is awesome, and the CW show did a really good job. Like, she's kind of campy, but that's how it is in the comics too. Like, it's awesome. I really want to do one of her, because I am also a Breck Bassinger fan. I know I butchered the name, and I'm sorry. Blame it on sinuses, right? But there's also like a Golden Age Starman. There's another Starman that's kind of punk. There's so many, and I think that's something that DC Comics does. They like putting in their heroes and just reusing names. Like the Blue Beetle. If you guys have seen the new Blue Beetle trailer, check it out. The costume is pretty awesome. The actor, I'm a big fan of the actor from Cobra Kai. He does a great job. It looks like it's becoming a little politicized right now in like on reviews I've seen on YouTube for the trailer. Don't fall into it. Whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, I respect it. As I believe if you put respect out, you get respect in. So that's what I'm gonna hold on to. I don't care what you believe. We don't have to agree on things. There's plenty of people that I don't agree with, but it's just a mutual respect thing that we understand that, and we don't sit there and try to down each other. So whatever you see in the reviews, just watch it for yourself. Get excited over little things that you see, because that's the fun of being a superhero fan. But yeah, check it out, because, and the reason I brought up Blue Beetle was because they've used his name, and there are 3 incarnations of Blue Beetle. There was like an original one, I believe from Charleston Comics, like way back in the day. DC got it. Then you had him as being Ted Kord, who was awesome, kind of like a everyman version of Batman and Booster Gold's best friend. And then you had Jaime Reyes with this crazy armor. Like we've had 3 different Blue Beetles, so it's really hard. So if you notice on some of my deep dives, I just give the name of the person, because like Jessie Chambers, because she was Jessie Quick. She was also Liberty Bell, who there's been a couple Liberty Bells. It's just one of those things. And I was asked that in an email. Someone's like, "Hey, not trying to be disrespectful. Why did you call it this person instead of their name? Like, why did I use their real name instead of the character name? Because it could have been harder to find." And it's basically because DC loves doing 2nd, 3rd generations of characters. I mean, it's just kind of their thing, and it's cool, whatever. All right, but let me give you my final thoughts on this. My final thoughts have actually kind of changed a little bit. I knew that Thom Kallor could, and what I do is I try to do my general knowledge of the character, and I'll give my final thoughts actually a lot of times before I go into the powers or some of the fun facts and stuff like that. Like sometimes I'll go out of order when I do it, so it's not really final thoughts. And this one kind of changed because I thought that he could alter the mass of things, not just increase it temporarily. I thought he could decrease it too, but there's nothing in there saying it, so it was just my assumption. But anyways, Thom Kallor, he was always really cool to me because he was so unhinged. Like, I'm not talking about Ambush Bug or Deadpool unhinged, where they might be crazy, but truly, he was unpredictably unhinged. Like, could he actually be trusted in a battle? Would he just go crazy and try to destroy everyone? This dude's got schizophrenia, so like anything can happen. Like his mind can just switch at anything, But it's that uncertainty that makes him so appealing to me. Like, he's got an amazing costume, an awesome power set, but it's ultimately the fact that you never really know what he's gonna do that makes for the interesting stories. So I'd love to see him have a breakdown in the middle of some big battle and increase everyone's mass to where they just like fall on the ground and can't do anything. And then he ends up dealing with whatever he needs to deal with internally. And then he just kind of like powers down and everyone gets their mass back. It's just stuff like that. Like, so he's kind of like in charge of a superpower timeout, basically. Till he figures out what side of the battle he's on. I think that would be hilarious. I think that'd be awesome though, because he's got so much power. He's got so much power that for even the top tier people to be able to compete with that kind of power level, it's really going to take a lot out of them. So it's just a matter of getting him to use it, but I would love to see him use it in unpredictable ways or unpredictable situations because he is so unhinged. That's just my take on it, but I would love to know what you guys think. Starboy, this guy can increase things to the mass of a star. So how many heroes out there can really move planets? That's what we got to think about when we come down to it. How many heroes out there have the stamina, the strength, and the just sheer power to be able to move planets, because that's what a star would kind of be like, right? I mean, I know they're also gas giants and stuff, but you know, I mean, are we going to encompass all that? When you're talking about mass, I mean, I would imagine you're thinking of planets and stuff too, because they were referred to as stars for a long time, if not currently. I have no idea. I'm not an astronomer, so I'm sorry. If anyone from NASA is hearing this, please let me know. And if you're not from NASA and you just know, let me know, because I'm talking out of my butt, but whatever. But yeah, but that's my idea. It's like just seeing him be unpredictable in things, you know, increase people's mass to the point where, what are you going to do? Are you going to ultimately deem him to be so unhinged or so unpredictable that he can't be a superhero? And if so, who's going to stop him? Are you going to stop him? And how would you do that? How would you say something that triggers him? Like, you know, in the Avengers movies, how they, you know, and this is more so in the comics than the movies, but everyone has seen the movies pretty much. You know, they sent the Incredible Hulk on a rocket ship to go away because he was just too unpredictable and too dangerous as a result. Same thing with him. What are you going to do? How are you going to really get away from him? What if he just gets frustrated with talking to you, increases your mass to where you can't move, and flies away? And then you have to go through it all over again. You know, I kind of love this. Like, his power isn't really going to be for anything other than, like, you bother me, so I'm going to get away from you kind of thing. I'm just going to make it to where you can't move. And what happens if, like, say you're Superman, and he increases your mass to the point of a planet, basically, a star. So you're like a mini planet. Your mass is. You're on Earth. When you try to pick yourself up, you're pushing against the Earth to pick yourself up, right? Are you going to move the Earth? Or are you going to move yourself? Like, how does this all work? I have no idea. Are there any physics people out there that could tell me? Like, what are the implications of this? Of having, let's just say, the moon on the surface of the Earth. What are those implications? Is his sheer mass going to mess with the magnetic fields? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, you can reach out to me on YouTube is honestly the best way. Help me grow the channel. I'm at like 1,400 subscribers, so I've gotten over that 1,000 mark, which is amazing. I do plan on doing a giveaway soon. But you can catch me on Superhero Deep Dive on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, share it. Put your questions, comments, critiques, requests for future episodes in there. Everything gets acknowledged. You can also catch me on Twitter, Instagram under Super Deep Dive. I use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive if I think about it and remember it. But on YouTube and on Instagram, I do post every day. I don't post on Twitter very much. It's just kind of crazy. But you can also email me directly at b4itall, so b4itall at yahoo.com. And let's have a discussion. Help me correct things if I need to be corrected. Help me clarify things, because there are plenty of things, especially in this episode, that need to be clarified. There are questions that must be answered. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to head out. I think my friends are having a puzzle night, so my family is going to go hang out with them. We're going to be happy. I hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone is happy. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is smart. But if you're not smart, don't get caught. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.